with all these behind the scene things, was there anything that like, you're a super fan, you go in there, you're like, I'm gonna be prepared for anything. Was there anything that like really caught you off guard that you just weren't anticipating and had to kind of, adjust to on the fly when you finally got in there?
I didn't want to win anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to play a good social game. I wanted to go in and take my time, which we'll get into that in a second. But I wanted to play a good game. I wanted to take my time. I wanted to establish relationships, and I wanted to play some cool Big Brother. I wanted to make some big moves, but I wanted to protect myself, and I wanted to play the game. But that first week or two happens, and you make one misstep or one bobble, and you're painted in a certain light. If you piss off the person that has everyone's ear, now you're the devil, dude. You're the worst person on planet Earth because that one person didn't like you and people are listening to them. So that one person doesn't like you. And now not only are you public enemy number one, you've just made it very easy for yourself to be on the block every week. So it got to a point where if you were seen talking to me, you were in trouble.
Right.
I was like the plague. I mean, so like you can't have a social game with an inability to speak to people. Like
Mhm.
all of my conversations basically just turned into surface level conversations. We would talk a little bit of game, but no one wanted to pry. No one wanted to really get in there. And like we were talking about Kelly, one of the reasons they never even wanted to pry because they were like, "You're not going to be here long, so
Right.
I'm not wasting
Not
any
worth
time on you."
Yeah.
So I was just always battling this. Well, why make a deal with Cameron if we don't? I mean, we got to get him gone, but no one ever thought past. Like when Cameron goes, then
What
what?
next? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone, the whole time I was in the house, there was always a clear objective from everyone. The house was calm, so long as I was there because everyone knew at least I'm not Cameron. I'm good with that. So they knew going into every week, it's like, all right, well, we just got to beat Cameron. If we beat Cameron, everything's good. And it was pretty smooth. So everyone had the ability to sit back, talk, form relationships, get plans together, work together, make in-game plans. And I'm just here scraping pennies for just trying to make it to the next day. So, yeah, the thing that hit me the hardest was I had to come out play in a completely different game than I intended on playing. And I knew that it was a fallacy. I knew that it had a shelf life.
Mhm.
I knew that I could only make it so far. So a good ways into the season, I stopped and just looked around and I was like, dude, you're not winning this game.
Mhm.
Like, there's not a single funeral that you can have for yourself that is going to make you a companion to someone. You're out. You're out of moves. You're out of options. You just got to win out and do this thing. I said, well, all right. If that's the case, I have to adjust my aim. I have to shoot at something that I can make happen. And I said, all right, if I just keep winning, keep having good diary sessions, have fun conversations with people in the house, not be an asshole, try to just be cool with everybody, maybe I can make it to jury. If I can make it to jury, I'll get a good check.
Yep.
If I make it to jury, that means that I've been in the house X number of weeks. If I'm in the house for that many weeks, that means I've got this much screen time. That's pretty good. I think I could wrap myself up and be happy with myself as a Big Brother person, someone that came on the show and actually fought their ass off and won some stuff and made a name for themselves. I wasn't just someone that got on the show. I was a big part of the show. I said I can digest that. I can leave this game knowing I gave everything that I had and I've made a name for myself. When people think of certain Big Brother seasons, I think that when they think of 25, they'll say Cameron was a pretty big piece of that. That's all I thought. I said, I can handle that. I said, if I get that, that means I make it to jury. I made X number of weeks, X number of screen time. That optimizes my chances of having gotten America's favorite player. If I get America's favorite player, I get a good paycheck. Might get called back to do another show or two. People know I work well with production. It'll be fun. So After sitting and thinking all of that stuff, you're not going to win, but you can win America's favorite. You can make it to jury, and you can have fun for the rest of the time you're here. I knew then I needed to not play too much social game. I just rode the wave after that. That's why you don't see me in any bad moods for the rest of the game. I was like, dude, your shelf life. You've reached your end of your road. So I was like, I'm comfortable with it. So I said, if I'm gonna be able to be America's favorite player, if I'm going to make it to jury, well, that means that I have the potential of coming on as an all-star. If I have the potential of coming on as an all-star, that means I have the potential of going on another show. And if I go on
Mm-hmm.
another show, that means people are going to be playing with me that have seen me on this show. I probably don't need to show them all of my cards. So
Right.
I made some strategic moves coming back after my zombie thing. I battled myself back into the house. I made some moves there. And I was like, okay, set myself up for to go a distance. And I was like, I better let off the gas a little bit. And I'd much rather be seen as someone that has shit social game
Mhm.
than, anything else. So I can swallow people thinking I'm shit at this game. So long as I can come back and play the actual plan that I really wanted to play the first time I played it. To
Right.
go in calm and go in and not be the target and to make good relationships and not make the bad steps that I made in the first one. So I look forward to potentially being on another show, or God forbid they honor me with asking me to be on All Stars. That would be the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I would play a much different game,
Yeah.
but a lot of the same because I'd still want to have that. I still want to have America's favorite player flair. I still want to go after big targets and win cool competitions and hang in there, but I don't want to rely on any of that stuff. I want to go in and play a completely different game that no one got to see
Yeah.
me play, which is good. And it works out for me because they think I'm dumb or I don't know what I'm doing and I don't have opinions on the matter. And that I play an extremely honest game. And all I needed was one loyal competitor, one person to fight with me. Are you that person? So
Yeah.
the biggest part was going into the house thinking I was going to do one thing and having to adjust immediately.